Hello, once again we are back with our chemistry part, and we know very well uh, chemistry is a branch of science which deals with the study of matter, or we can say that to learn chemistry or to understand chemistry we have to first understand all the terms related to matter. Now the part of science that deals with the study of matter, the structure, the composition, the interaction, and everything is called chemistry. And we'll start with chemistry's very important part that we call what is matter, the base of chemistry, that is matter. Now, we all know matter. The topic is matter. Before we proceed into matter, we have to first understand what is exactly material. Now, when we talk about material, what is exactly material? The matter of which a thing is made of. For example, cotton, tiles, human body, pen, paper, the mobile, the book, the board, the light, the t-shirt that I'm wearing, the watch, everything is made out of material. And material is a simple broader way of explaining that the things are made up of material in a simple English expression. But when we go into details of it, we understand it is not exactly only material, but it is more in detail study that we require. Now, all the materials that we see in and around us are of different shape, different size, different texture. All that what we see, for example, human body, you take it, the cloth that you take it, the cloths are also of different courses. Some are linen, some are nylon, some are cotton, some are coarse. So texture, volume, shape, size, there are vast difference or variation. Now, before we go into all the details, let us first ask ourselves a question: what is exactly matter? Matter can be defined as anything that occupies space and has a volume, and also its configuration, which will come in later part of the video when we'll try to understand more in details of the topic. Now, first and foremost, matter is anything that occupies space and has a volume. The balloon that we blow off is having a volume of air inside it. But what is the air made up of? The air is made up of matter. So matter is what? Matter can be defined as anything that has a mass and has a volume. Now, matter was considered by earlier philosophers in ancient philosophy as tattva, which we call it, or what we call tattva means something made up of. It is made up of tattva. Now, later on it went into little bit more thing that we call it padarth. That means matter. Matter is what? Padarth. Now, with the ongoing advancements of science and advancements in chemistry and research and aggressive study about what you say science in details like biology, physics and chemistry, those people were dealing with chemistry, matter and other part of it, they studied in details, and they initial philosophy they told that it is made up of 5 physical having physical nature, like for example 5 physical padarth, what we call it, or panch tattva, what they call it, and that was fire, earth, sky, water and air. But with advancement, as I said, with advancements of chemistry and with the advancement of the technology, with the advancement of equipment build up, more research was started, and we came into the modern chemistry, what we call it, the branch that deals with the study of matter. Now, when we study matter, we study in 2 phases. One we call it physical and one we call it chemical. I'll start in dividing this, but we'll study first the physical nature, then we'll go into the chemical part of it, and then we'll go in detail study why the chemical reactions take place, what is the chemical nature of these things, why do we call these things this substance, like elements, compounds, mixture. These are a little bit different in nature, but we'll just go to the beginner part of it, that we call as matter that we study is in two types, that is we call physical nature and we call chemical nature. Now when we talk about physical nature, matter can be divided into basically 5 categories. We call it solid, liquid, gas, Bose-Condensate, and or Bose-Einstein-Condensate, or Condensate we call it, Einstein-Condensate we call it, but the last is called plasma. These are 5 states, but we will be studying only 3 states, and the 3 states of the physical property of matter, that is we call it solid, liquid and gas. Then the chemical part is we call it elements, compound and mixture. That is in case when we study about matter. Now matter is made up of what? What is it matter made up of? Now matter is made up of particles. Matter is made up of particles, which we later on come to know that these are atoms that we are talking about. These are made up particles. Now when we say particles, so matters are made up of particles. How can we prove it that matters are made up of particles? So if we take simple experiments to prove that matter exists in a form of property, or matter exists itself, or matter shows the nature or the property of having particle. So start with first, and we'll try in little bit of, if you see in this beaker it is empty right now, or in this beaker this is empty right now. In this one I'll mix little bit of water. I've just added 20 ml of water here, and I'll add 20 ml of milk. 20 ml of milk. Now if you see, the particles are mixed without my being stirring it, or without my being increasing the temperature, or without my being giving any sort of external force, either heat, light, or any sort of change in atmospheric pressure. At the normal temperature, that is at the room temperature, that is a standard temperature and pressure, that is at 760 mm of mercury, and at 1 atmospheric pressure, that we call it, at the temperature of the room, that is approximately 28 to 29 optimum temperature, we have seen that the liquids mix thoroughly, where the particles of milk get dissolved in water. The color of the milk is white, the color of water is colorless, and we see the particles got disappeared here. One more thing we can try is, we can try this. If we take for example sugar, which is solid, you can see sugar is solid, then I add water. Now since the temperature of water is normal, I will just stir it up a little bit so that the sugar gets dissolved. I'm just stirring it, not changing any temperature. Had the water been warm, the sugar would have got dissolved faster. Now we see the sugar is getting dissolved in water. Slowly is getting dissolved in water, and a time will come when the sugar will be no more in the water. Sugar particles will no more be in water. Suppose I remove this. And I wash with water. I can show you this water, which is mixture of sugar. The sugar has disappeared. If you see, sugar has disappeared here. Why? That means the sugar particles broke down, and in the intermolecular space of water, that is H2O, in between the intermolecular space of the two atoms of hydrogen and oxygen, or oxygen and oxygen, hydrogen and oxygen, the intermolecular space of the water molecule has been occupied by the sugar atoms or the sugar molecules. So this is the way that it proves that matter are made of particles, and the particles get mixed together. That means the particles are, thoroughly mixed in the liquid. Now here we can prove it that matter is made of particles, otherwise sugar would have been existing there. Sugar is not existing there, it has taken place the intermolecular space of the what we call water. Now next, one more thing we can try. I just wash this beaker a little bit so the sugar particle is not there. I take again water, and I add a little bit of turmeric. That is a common thing is available in our house. You can just add turmeric, and you can see
turmeric particles will get mixed in water. They are getting mixed in water, see, they are getting dissolved, and slowly the water will turn into yellow color. Now where are the turmeric powders gone? The turmeric powders have taken the intermolecular space of this particular water molecule, and they have got disappeared in that one, and they have changed the color. Now what are these? Earlier when we took, the powder was solid, turmeric powder was solid. We mixed in the liquid, the powders got so thoroughly mixed and took the place in between the water molecule that it has taken the color less liquid into color yellow. This two experiments, which is very easy, we can perform at home. One more we can try. This is little bit difficult, but we can try. I'll just try for you. If it is not good to try for yourself, always have somebody near you so that it becomes easy for us and it is not risky. I took the matchstick and I'm burning. If I just put the matchstick inside, you can see there is a gas. There is a gas out inside there. This gas, if I leave it, you can see they are going to mix in the room. Again, if I do it one more time, if I take it and I put this inside, if you see, if I take this and put inside, you can see there is a gas. Again, if I take one more time and I use a candle, for example, if I use candle and I take this candle and try to put inside, you will see there is a white gas which is inside. Now this white gas, if you leave it, after certain time they will go out of the, what you say, this particular beaker or the test tube, and they are going to mix with the air in the room. They are going to mix with the air in the room and they are going to get diffused. That means the gas which is present in this room is air, which is a mixture of many number of gases, and this, which is carbon dioxide, is going to mix in the air, and they will take the intermolecular space of the gas, because gases have a huge amount of intermolecular space. So this way we have proved it that solids are made of particles, liquid are made of particles, and also the gas is made of particle. We can also take one more thing. If we try, if we take little bit of black ink, if we see and we try to mix it, we have seen here the black ink particles are not mixing with water right now, because this black ink has been formed into a coagulated particle which is not mixing with water, because it cannot take the intermolecular space of the water, because chemically it is not breaking. Because ink is not made up of one chemical, there are huge number of chemicals which have been getting together to form into ink. Therefore ink is not able to react physically with water. Chemically it could have reacted had I heated it, had I boiled the water, or I have increased the temperature, or rigorously if I try to little bit shake it up. Rigorously if I try to shake it up, some amount of this particle may try to mix with water, but not all. That means physically they will not mix. So not necessary that everything that we try to mix will mix, but there are compounds that can be mixed, there are particles, there are materials which can be mixed. But for our experiment to understand that matter is made out of particles will help us to understand by this thing. This is, if you see properly now, the water is the, what you say, the particles of the yellow color solution is becoming more darker, because I have again rigorously stirred it so that the particles have got mixed again, otherwise they'll settle down. If I take for example this particular sugar solution, sugar cannot be visible, but if I mix little bit of ink there or little bit of milk out there, you see what will happen? They will mix thoroughly. So this proves that particles are the essential part of matter, and the matter is made out of particles.